James Charles a year ago was accused of predatory behaviour with minors and preying on people purely because they were straight. However, at the time there was no sufficient evidence to support these claims. These allegations were put forward by Tati Westbrook, Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, and were posted in a video titled "Bye Sister" on Tati Westbrook's channel. However, James Charles responded, and although his first response lacked substance and was thrown out as being overall really poor in quality, his second response, "No More Lies," provides the proof to show that the person who he allegedly tried to turn gay already was gay and was actually interested in James. He also breaks down all the other allegations and puts skepticism on the allegations put forward against him, as people like Jeffree Star retracted their initial allegations of having concrete proof against James, claiming they didn't want any more drama. This seemed to be the end of the James Charles allegations at the time, because they lacked any real proof that could lead to punishment against James Charles in any way. Though Jeffree Star claimed on podcasts he did still have the audio and allegedly played it to creators. And although creators like Blair White claimed to have heard the evidence and apparently it was credible, these allegations basically faded away because James's response was mostly treated as a good response. But before we get into the new allegations, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I make content on all the newest drama every single day, giving reasonable arguments and evidence to defend my case. I'm aiming for 25,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'd appreciate your help with doing so. I also have a Discord server with almost 1,000 members, so you can also join that and follow me on my other social media like Twitter to support me and my work. I also appreciate the insane support I've received lately from the 6,000 TikTok followers, 13,000 subscribers, and almost 2,000 Twitter followers. These milestones are not taken for granted, and I appreciate the support so much. It really means a lot. These videos take a lot of work to do daily, so to see so much support is so meaningful. Okay, back onto the video. This all changed last week when a TikTok user claimed James Charles had predatory intentions in an engagement with them, where he allegedly sent explicit images, explicit messages, and was taking advantage of them. They provided screenshots claiming that James knew they were 16 and knew they were a fan and was utilizing a power dynamic to manipulate them. And this evidence for a time did seem to be quite reasonable of an allegation to make, until James Charles responded with a post where he claimed that he had a reasonable defense, claiming this fan had contacted him, indirectly acknowledging the power dynamic, but also claiming they cut context, had lied about their age with the intent of trying to catch James out, sending him provocative messages, and tricking James into thinking they were over age, but when they started sending suspicious messages, he quickly questioned their age, and they owned up to being 16. James also claimed from this point onward he would start taking ID when messaging people to make sure that he didn't end up in a similar situation like this, which was a reasonable response, and although he didn't provide evidence, a lot of people took him at his word on this. However, that obviously doesn't forgive the power dynamic in this relationship. This is an exact example of why you don't date fans, because of situations like this where they could feel pressured to lie about their age or something along those lines, and also that it's unfair to date someone who's a fan of you, because they'll likely be less capable of saying no to you, and you could end up forcing them into things they don't want to do, but are purely doing it because they're a fan of you, or something along those lines. James also should know to verify the age of people he's talking to. That should be apparent to James because he's had allegations like this in the past. It's crazy how many of these situations it seems it will take before James will learn. And speaking on more allegations, more people have come out about James Charles allegedly taking advantage of or having predatory behaviour towards them, and James hasn't responded to these far, which is obviously concerning. Although, I understand that you can't reply to everything, it's extremely hard to verify these claims so far, and for now, I hope nobody else touches these. I also don't intend until James responds to cover them, unless he continues to ignore them. These are claims that are questionable, but there is evidence put forward, and I feel they need a response. It's always hard to know the full context of these situations though, so I feel it's not good to jump to a conclusion of guilty or innocent at this time. I do, however, want to call out all the accounts who are already labeling James a predator or similar titles, and the articles insinuating it. This situation is a huge legal grey area, and there is not even close to enough evidence to claim that. James is warranted in criticism, but this situation has not developed enough to the point where you can even make those allegations, and I'm shocked that so many people are trying to without even close to the sufficient evidence. It's concerning that people continue to jump to conclusions in these situations when it's been shown time and time again that these allegations can come out and end up fake, like the first time James was accused and the Slazo situation. Put yourself in the position of James. He's just a human being. It would be awful to have these labels put on you falsely, and you guys should know better. It's sad that you haven't learned yet. I learned from the Pyro situation and the mistakes I made then, but it's disappointing that so many of you haven't learned that same lesson. please don't jump to conclusions. Also, this situation should have been handled legally, not publicly. I'm sick of all these allegations being taken public because they fall into drama, and once they end up public like this, the law basically can't act upon them, which is a huge issue. Cases like this can't end up in the public eye because they won't be treated carefully, and unfair harassment will go to everyone involved, innocent or not. Please, if you have an experience like this, go to the police. Don't post videos and tweets about it. It won't go well. My thoughts on this situation can be broken down into a few categories, including 1. If the allegations are true, 2. If the allegations are false, and 3. Advice for James. 1. If the allegations are true, James's previous allegations need to be looked into again, and a case needs to be made against James Charles to take legal action against him, so that behavior like this is never allowed to happen again. James needs to make sure that he handles his platform responsibly, and he shouldn't have a platform in the case that he's still doing this like the claims are alleging. 2. If the claims are false, people need to put more scrutiny on claims made against creators. These kinds of allegations can't be taken lightly, and one simple YouTube video or tweet should not define your opinion on a topic that can affect someone's livelihood. Plain and simple. And 3. Some advice to James. Don't sext your fans. That kind of power imbalance is not okay in any kind of relationship, and all it can possibly do is lead to more problems. Just load up a dating app and find someone on there. It seems manipulative to specifically date fans knowing they're fans. And you also need to verify the age of anyone you're dating. That's a definite. Whether these claims are true or not, verifying the age of a partner is a requirement in these kind of relationships to guarantee that nothing like what happened last week ever happens again. As a high-profile creator with allegations like these made against you in the past, you should already know this. It's really sad that you haven't learned from that situation purely because people accepted your response. I hope this situation teaches you a lesson about how to handle these cases. But that's where I'll leave this video. If you have enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this video. These videos take a lot of work to research, edit and produce, so much to the point that I basically sacrifice all my free time at the moment. So if you could do me a favor and press subscribe, it'd help me progress and grow my channel, and it'd be appreciated. I also want to give a huge thank you to Spy62 for their monthly donation on Patreon of $90. If you want to support the channel, I have a Ko-fi and a Patreon where you can donate your hard-earned money so I can sit in my bedroom in front of an extremely expensive microphone as I speak my mind on things that in reality aren't as serious as they're made out to be. I hope you have a lovely day, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace. And just before I end, I know this is gonna sound really annoying and preachy, but it's really been a struggle for me to do these daily uploads. From juggling my college work, to juggling my other job, to doing this content, it's been a lot of work. So if you could please donate to the channel, I intend to hire some editors for videos, so if you could donate on Patreon or Ko-fi to allow me to fund that, it would mean a lot. Literally $1 donation from 40 of you could be enough to hire an editor for 2 videos so that I can get 2 videos done a week and then I can do the other 5 myself. That's literally all I ask. If you could help out, it would mean so much to me. Thank you for watching, and peace.
Says she wanna rock with it like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with it like me. We can catch a fly. Says she wanna rock with it like me.